Welcome to A Mason's Work, the podcast where we review Masonic symbols and illustrate how they can be used to solve problems in everyday life. With your host, Brian Mattox, a proud member of the Craftsman Online Media Network.
One of the things that's never mentioned in any of the ritual work that I think is an important and maybe the most important tool of the craft is the 15 people or more in the room involved in getting your degree. These folks all have a vested interest in helping you grow as an individual Mason and should be a vital part of your essentially your council of elders as you go through your Masonic experience. Now, some of those folks may be bringing different perspectives and things like that. Some of them may be newer, some of them may be seasoned. And as you go through your kind of internal reflections, it makes sense to know who's on your team. So try and go through your sort of inventory of the Masons in your lodge, and remember that they are all there for the same reason. Maybe not the exact same purpose, but they are there because they're good men, because they are committed to some level of self-improvement, self-development, and some level of service. So with that in mind, don't forget to use perhaps the strongest working tool in the lodge, which is the other members there. Now, that does not necessarily mean, strictly speaking, free labor, right? It doesn't mean you're going to go in and be like, yeah, I need help with yard work. It might, but you're really looking for folks that can help you with your self-development, with your growth. And that personal growth and development is going to require you to undertake some of the other preparations that you have been made familiar with in your degree process. And so you have to remember kind of all of these things all at once, and it takes a bit of time to do that. But when you are trying to elicit the aid of the members of your lodge, be sure to be direct with what you're looking for. Hey, I'm struggling with this challenge in my life. I have this problem. I'm not sure what to do. And understand as well that you may have folks in your lodge that have certain professions, but that does not entitle you to free use of those professions, right? So you're not going to go to the doctor in your lodge and ask them to look at a rash. You're not going to go to the financial advisor and ask to, come up with a financial plan and expect that to be something that you wouldn't compensate them for. On the other hand, from a behavioral perspective or from the perspective of trying to solve a personal problem, everyone in the lodge should be willing, ready, and able to help as much as they can. There's a balance here with leveraging those relationships. And so one of the best things that you can do as you get started in lodge, if you're new to it, is start to develop some social capital there, to make some investments in the people in that lodge, so that when they are leveraged for help, they know you well enough to know how to best help you meet your needs.
The views represented in this podcast are those of the speaker alone and are not representative of any grand or subordinate lodge.
Hi, Brian here. I wanted to thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you have any suggestions or guidance for further episodes you'd like to see or hear, whatever the case may be, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at amasonswork.com, and we will try and incorporate your suggestions into a future recording. Thanks.
Freemasonry teaches us that the true work is within, a lifelong journey of reflection, discipline, and discovery. At A Mason's Work, we help Masons bring out their best selves through meaningful self-inquiry and symbolic practice. From personal reflection to lodge engagement, we offer tools that turn symbols into action. Visit us at amasonswork.com The work is within. The time is now.